When I was in college, I came to the Lord, and the Lord called me to ministry. And he gave me a word concerning that calling. And I graduated college, and everything fell apart. When I thought, oh, everything's going to just come together, everything fell apart. Everything I thought would happen didn't. What I had fell apart. I found myself in a wilderness right after the promise. No sign of the promise coming true. No sign of the calling. I didn't know when and how God would do it, but I sought to serve him. And I've been asked to lead a Bible study, so I continued teaching the Bible. I ministered to the homeless in New York City. I helped others start, at that time, a little outreach, a few people called Beth Israel. They said, can you help me? I said, I'll help you with that for the time being because I'm waiting on the Lord because he has a calling. But I'll help you until that happens. Little did I know. And then I helped out wherever was needed at Beth Israel. I also worked with disabled children. I ministered. I even wrote songs to the Lord. I had time, more time than I have now. But I saw no sign of the promise. But I also knew that I would remember those days fondly, because those were the days that were leading me to the promise of God. Everything that was to prepare me to walk by faith, to hold to God, to not give up, keep going, stay in his presence, stand. And then one day, after several years, I was feeling that my time in the wilderness was coming to an end. But I saw no sign of it. I just felt it. And then the Lord gave me a word. And that word was a prophecy, a word from the Bible. And right after that word, the wilderness came to an end. And he began to fulfill everything that he promised, like overnight. Everything he called me to. I'm going to give you the word he gave me in a moment as we close. But now we've been through a wilderness. It had a purpose, and you only know what you went through and what you go through. But God was seeking to draw us closer to him. He uses all things. If we're locked down, you know God wanted us with him. He removed distractions, removed busyness. He removes all those things. He allowed us to need. And all those prayers for time, you had time. Now, more time to be in his word, in his prayer. There was a purpose. I can't say what you did with the time, what we did with the time. But the purposes God has is to draw you closer, make you stronger, bless you. And every wilderness, there's a promised land. No matter what happens in this world, if they call for another lockdown, it's time to leave the wilderness. It's time to walk in the promises of God. I want to give you now the word that I got at the end of about 4.5 years. It was the end of when I said it, the Lord, just in my spirit, end of wilderness. No sign of it yet, but right after the word, it happened. But this is for all of you. This is for all of you, for what we've been through, but also whatever you're dealing with, or whatever you will deal with, or whatever you have dealt with. This is the word I got. And you shall remember all the way which the Lord your God has led you in the wilderness these 40 years, that he might humble you, test you to know what was in your heart, whether you'd keep his word or not. He humbled you, he let you be hungry, he fed you with manna, which you didn't know, nor did your fathers, that he made you understand that man doesn't live by bread, but by everything that comes from the mouth of God. Your clothing did not wear out, nor did your foot swell these 40 years. Thus you are to know in your heart the Lord your God was chasing you as a man does his son. Therefore you shall keep the commandments of the Lord and walk in his ways. For the Lord your God is now bringing you into a good land, a land of brooks of water, of fountains and springs flowing in valleys and hills, a land of wheat and barley, of vines and fig trees and pomegranates, of olive oil and honey, a land where you will eat food without any shortages, in which you shall not lack anything, a land whose stones are iron, out of the hills you'll dig copper. When you've eaten and are satisfied, you shall bless the Lord your God for the good land he has given you. But be careful that you don't forget the Lord your God, that you don't forget the Lord your God. In other words, who kept you all this time. When you've eaten and are satisfied and have built good houses and lived in them, when your herds and your flocks multiplied, your silver and gold multiply, all you have multiplies, and your heart becomes proud, and you forget the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt from slavery. He led you through this great and terrible wilderness. Great and terrible, with its fiery serpents and scorpions, thirsty ground where there was no water. He brought water out of the rock. In the wilderness, he fed you manna to do good for you in the end. Hi, I'm Jonathan Cahn, and I hope you were blessed with the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you're notified every time a new video is posted. Feel free to share your reactions with your comments and how you were blessed, and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.